everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to be working on god-killing swords, or more specifically, we are going to try to make sure that these very poorly thought out notes actually have a little bit more going on with them. Because as of right now, this is literally all we have, and I need to make a full game out of this. So, that is pretty much going to be the main goal for today, where I want to get things into at least a place where I can understand where we're going to be going with the game. Because right now, I have a few ideas, but ideas are liquid, and sometimes they like to change and edit, and sometimes they break apart and everything dies. So, main thing what we're going to be doing right here is pretty much, So let's see. Effectively our genre we're going to be working with is a power. We can go ahead and call this as a cosmic power drama at its core. And what do we need to do with our cosmic power drama aspects? We can put that there. We're going to actually have the meta plot a little bit. So the meta plot is we're going to kind of keep with this idea. I thought about it a little bit more. And pretty much, oh god, I had lunch, and lunch kicked me in my ass. It was damn good. Chicken bacon ranch sub from a local place. Never had it before, but oh boy, it killed me a little bit on the inside. So let's see. Okay, what's our meta plot going to look like? I have the idea for the meta plot, which is pretty much quote heroes from across the cosmos. Actually, how do I want to word this? Pretty much the idea I had, was that there are X number of quote heroes, pretty much individuals of extreme power, people who have kind of hit max level, you could say. The next number of heroes across the cosmos, and they are given a fragment of a sword. We can actually probably change god-killing swords to just god-killing sword for this. Pretty much the idea is that fragment of the sword, fragments of the sword are immensely powerful. I want to do a fragment of the sword, kind of like an idea of here's a literal god-killing sword that was broken apart, or it's the idea of everyone does get their own god-killing sword that allows them to kill gods, i.e. each other. So you already have that kind of grand cosmic balance in case, these form natural balance of the universe, but when one dies, let's see, the balance is shifted, causing a junction event. And it's a battle royale to see who wins. Issuing in the battle royale. I should say royal. Issuing in the royal battle royale. That's the kind of the core idea. That is what's occurring currently. That's the entire preface and the entire concept of the plot going forward. Is you guys are playing pretty much superheroes in the grand cosmic scale of things, and you are all together trying to survive the battle royale against reality, as the balance has shifted, and you're all trying to effectively become either the sole winner and remake the universe in your image, or desperately try to remake it in a few people's image. But maybe you don't want to do that because that sounds like a terrible idea, hence the term of power drama. This is taking place during the junction event. Something has happened. We're at a junction and now we have to kill each other. Now, I don't know how big I don't know the scale of this yet, but I'm effectively going to probably divide it a little bit like Kill 6 Billion Demons, otherwise known as everyone divides it, with it's technically 777,777,777 worlds and ideas and heroes all around, and they have to kill each other until there is only one left. And hopefully that kind of will cause some ideas and things are going wrong and people are getting mad at each other. Hence the idea of the power drama. A normal person cannot kill you. That's going to be the key idea. You are never going to die to a regular thing. You are going to die by one of these people. You get into a fight with someone that's just a little bit better than you, you are going to get your face chopped off because they're better than you. So make sure they don't get an advantage on you. That is the key idea. Step 1, don't die. Step 2, make sure you can kill them. So what we want to do is, junction event, cosmic battle royale. So yeah, this is pretty much the basic meta plot, which we actually go into the fragments of swords. Fragments of swords, or / just swords, give power and authority. Because I have a sword that is literally saying, I am a god, this is my god-killing sword. Cool, I have that weapon. It is mine, and that is a unkillable death machine that makes me unique. This is my blade. It is carved from the bones of 1,000 dead, of a trillion dead, and I seriously do not care about anything. And my one superpower is total life extinction punch. Why? Because I don't even need to use this giant sword of mine, because I only use that to kill important things, and you aren't important. That's kind of the idea in my noggin zone there a little bit, just to bring up the scale of the conflict to, again, cosmic levels of, yes, we're going to be traveling to different worlds in a desperate attempt to literally murder our peers in an attempt to try to become God, and that's the point. So we're gonna put the Zhuhan. I think it's Zhahan. I don't speak Chinese if you haven't quite got that yet. So expand heavily on Notepad. Okay. Notepad dice list. It's gonna get things. So we're gonna go with a dice list system to allow powerful characters to feel powerful. So, which does bring me, we need to go to the drive, and we need to open up Fate Lonely Dance. There we go. Not random dance. Random dance is very different. So our exterior mechanics, so we need to make, this is going to be our core system, and we're going, I'll keep it as exterior mechanics. Because, actually what we should do is put you up there, put you right there. So, characters have a set of tricks and quirks about a set of tricks, quirks, and items to separate themselves. Hence why we have this. These are going to play into each other. The fact that your sword is something important is going to give you a little bit of an edge when it comes to inside of your own domain kind of thing. Hey, this sword allows me to cut through heaven. I'm going to use it to cut you in half. How I want to do that yet? Don't know. But that's why we're here today. I don't need... So, let's see. Let me see what our basic... I should be able to use most things reliably, because let's see, what are our base attributes in here? We have physical, warfare, mental, power, bravado, and fate. So, most likely, let's see. Fate is going to be the one that's going to need to get changed, I think. Power is going to need to get recontextualized. Because how this is going to work is you're going to have something that looks like this. Like physical A, warfare S, mental B, power B, bravado C, and then fate D. This is what your stats are roughly going to look like. That's the entire idea, is that you are assigning a value to it to say, I am above, you are below me. Physical A is still astronomically stronger than anything that we could physically comprehend, but you're going to be below someone who has an S in physical. That's the point. So, let's think. So, physical is pretty obvious. This is just going to be raw strength and, you know, endurance kind of thing. Warfare is going to be combatability and leadership. Yeah, I think we can do, you know, combatability and raw leadership. People are going to follow you to hell and back if you have high warfare, because you're just someone who can use weapons. Mental is just going to be your raw intelligence, and so power. What's the thing with power? So skill through abilities and unique powers, giving them an edge about with high power, can bend reality through winds and use magecraft. Okay, so we're going to need to change that, because magecraft isn't really a thing in this world, because guess what? If you're using magic, it's more along the lines of, I cast Apocalypse. So, I guess we can make that warfare to, like, we can make whatever this is. I mean, we can change power, change the idea behind it to the warfare of mental. Physical is kind of the broad one. Warfare is a little bit more specific, but it covers a little bit more. You can have really high warfare, but really low physical. And it's the idea of, yeah, I may not be physically strong, but I'm also the kind of person who can, you know, tear across the battlefield pretty easily. So, how would you even word that? Give me 1 second. Now, this is going to be... Snap my back into place. Crickety crack. That's what it does. Ugh. Oh god. People are sending me documentation. I don't like it when I get documentation. I get worried. Okay, so let's see. What does POW do? POW is your energy replacement, because I had to use magical energy because I needed to replicate that concept. This one I really don't need to replicate that at all, but like the idea behind magical energy was the fact that you have to worry about the idea that your energy, the amount of stuff you're doing, is going to start rapidly draining. So you don't want to do too much. And it was about, like, at the end of the day, Fate Lonely Dance is a resource game. And because it is a resource game, it is the idea of like you need to manage your servants' resources just as much as you need to manage your own. Yeah, good. Power synonym. Capability, potential, potential faculty, property, competence, strength, might, force. Actually, let's think. Okay, maybe we can change power to instead something like flame, you know, kind of like the cultivation and manipulation of the inner flame. Or something similar to that. Kind of the idea that, you know, high flame would be something more along the line. So, like, flame would be your ability to use pretty much god magic. Like, I am literally using my own soul's power to fuel myself to kill you better. Or, you know, I am, instead of being like, I use magic missile, it's, you know, I'm going to pretty much use the engine of my heart to forge myself something, to imbue the world and force it to do what I want it to do. So, cultivation of the inner flame. Bravado. Half of me wants to change bravado. Oh, I know what we can change bravado to. Radiance. And personal draw. You know, raw divine magnitude and personal draw. The higher your radiance, the more you are pretty much walk into a room, everyone turns, everyone is terrified of you. It is you posing on people effectively. It is you saying, I am a king of kings, look upon my works ye mighty in despair. You know, I am the walking apocalypse, and I am going to kill you all. So, I mean, like, we'll use just an example, like, so far, like, Jagganoth's, his big thing would be, like, his physical would be A, his warfare would be S, his mental may only be C, and his flame may be low, but his radiance would be, like, A tier kind of thing. It's just the idea that he appears, he blows onto the scene, and he's like, hey, I'm going to hurt you now. Or, hey, bow before me, mortals, I'm here to save the day and eradicate your existence from everything. Huh, weird. Who cares? So, okay, so flame equals god magic, radiance is personal draw. That's going to also be kind of like your person. Actually, I don't really necessarily want that to be a charisma attribute either. Because the idea is people are going to treat, like, I don't want this to be a charisma attribute. I want this to be your radiance. Just how important you are to others around you. Like, you radiate power. And others are drawn to you, not necessarily your personality and how you act. So I want that, because that's the big thing with power drama. And any kind of, any type of intrigue campaign, or any time of like, let's do a talkie game. Anytime you have a game like that, do not let them roll charisma. Charisma is the shortcut answer to things. Never let them have an ability like that. Because the thing is, that ability is going to immediately become more valuable than anything. And if you ever say, well, roleplay it out, then why am I rolling? If you are making a roll for something like that, it's because because you're trying to convince them. You're doing a shortcut. Instead of me having to convince you, I'm making a check because my character is a lot smarter than me. This one is, hey, get into character a little bit and, again, enact your cosmic drama. Which actually, We could probably maybe change fate. Like, let's do fate synonym. Kismet. What the hell's Kismet? Oh, it's just Turkish fate. Providence. Care of God or nature's spiritual power. We can do Providence would actually work, which is would be pretty much, fate, destiny, intervention, and your divine will. But that's your personal providence. Protective care of God or of nature as a spiritual power. You are protecting yourself. You have high providence. You are someone who's going to be able to kind of influence the world around you. Hmm. As nouns, the difference between Kismet and fate is that Kismet is fate, a predetermined, unavoidable destiny, while fate is the presumed cause. Force. Okay, so it's unavoidable destiny. So what would be... Serendipity would be the correct phrase I'm going for. Is an unsought, unintended, or unexpected but fortunate discovery. So what would be like synonyms for serendipity? Chance, accident, fluke, luck, good luck, fortuity, providence. There's providence again. Because half of me wants to go with Kismet. Kind of the idea that you're kind of like your destiny is. What would be Kismet synonym, fate, destiny? No. Keep it simple. Karma. Your karmic balance. Not the meme karma either. Oh, no. We're going into the legal definition of karma, otherwise known as the sum of the person's actions and previous states of existence, viewed as deciding the fate of their future existence. Pretty much, if you have high karma, that means good things are going to happen to you. If you have low karma, bad things are going to happen to you. However, we can probably reinterpret this idea as karma is, with the idea that karma is your personal, view of your destiny. It's your actions and your ideas which you feel to be your destiny, because I want these to feel like you have control over them. And if you have low karma, that's you pretty much telling yourself that you're psyching yourself out effectively. So we use these as so if we use these as our set of attributes, let's see, core and derived. So we use these as our core attributes here. Flame will maybe get changed. So let's see what needs to be changed here, because Attribute cost, that's pretty. I think we can probably keep this relatively the same. That's going to be a number crunching of like how I would want to do this, because I have this in a way where on average you're going to get like you're encouraged to go like get like 1S or like 2, and you're not really, or kind of like even out a little bit higher. Again, you're even out about 10, so yeah, 10 attribute points to spend. So technically, you can get a B in, let me see if I remember correctly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 times. 6 times, you can get a B minus in most things, but I want things to be like, you're getting a D in here because you just suck at it. But hey, you also have an A because you're really good at this thing and have a lot of average stats. What did you miss? Nothing much. Just me going over the core ideas of god-killing swords. The main thing what we're going to be doing is that the basic meta plot is going to be there's a cosmic battle royale going on. You need to become you need to A, protect yourself, and B, kill your rivals to become god. Like capital G god. Bigger than what you actually are. Right now I'm just kind of tweaking in the core and derived attributes, because so far these are going to be our core attributes. Pretty standard stuff. How strong you are, how good you are, leadership and fighting, how smart you are, kind of how scholarly you are as well, how well you can manipulate your own divine power, how just raw and divine you actually are, how people are drawn to you, and your ability to manipulate your own fate. Because we're going like a 1-minute delay. Oh Lord. Why would there be a 1-minute delay? Why would there be a 1-minute delay? I'm trying to think of like, did I put a setting somewhere? Actually, I will check. I will actually check to see if there's a delay on my side, because there shouldn't be a delay. Because that may very well be the case. So let me see, video. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't have a stream delay enabled. It looks like you're responding pretty quickly to me. So I think it should be fine, unless I'm speaking really slowly, but that's kind of weird if I am. But regardless, the entire idea is that you are incredibly powerful people in this. So overly powerful that you don't really need to worry about most things. Oh no, there's a man with a sword. He's rushing at me to stab me to death. Okay, he stabs me in my chest. I don't care, because I'm literally divine. I just grab his head and kill him with his own blade embedded in my gut, and I don't care. Like, I'm so far above you, I have just stopped literally understanding the meaning of pain. You should feel threatened when, oh, don't worry, the man who can literally control, the wind is now here to fight me, who also has my own divine power, and he's slightly better at killing people than I am. Oh, fuck. Let's make sure we're in a proper fight. Otherwise known as when I can win. So... And this game is, what we're looking at right now, this is Fate Lonely Dance. This is a Fate game I wrote on a whim. So let's see. Character's health and ability contribute to conflicts, resist injuries. So... Health is... I think we're going to keep health as... I don't think health is the right term for this. What would it be something so big? Health synonym. Fitness, robustness, vigor. How do you make it sound right? Vigor. Yeah, okay. Or endurance. Would be a good... Health sounds a little bit too... Because you're not really... The thing is, you're not going to die of illness in this kind of game. So health feels like a little bit odd. Like, health seems odd to say. Because health is like... When someone says, oh, are you healthy or not? I'm thinking more along the lines of... Are you injured? A little injured? Are you sick? Are you this? You're not going to get sick in this game. Or if you are getting sick, you want yourself to get sick. A fight... Substance, composure, wholeness. I'll go with that one, actually. I'll go with wholeness. That's actually pretty good. Whole of body, whole of, you know... Because I want the idea being, like, if you get into a fight, like, a true fight, like, at the end of a fight, like, you've, like, successfully are going to kill an enemy. The idea is less, oh no, they are now laying on the ground bleeding to death. No, probably the surrounding area is an apocalyptic wasteland. Delay is more human, yeah, sounds about right. It is an apocalyptic wasteland surrounding you. That person is, like, that entity is not just on the ground bleeding a little bit. That thing is a bloody pulp, just as much as you are. And, you know, it's, you know, here I have 30 swords embedded in me, and you have 20. Don't worry, I can still hurt you. But the fiends sold in my age game are also hella strong, but killable by Normies with enough effort and firepower. Yeah, that happens. Chunky salsa doesn't apply to... Nah. Pretty much, like, if you were going down, you were going down to another entity on the same tier as you. You aren't going down simple. So, let me check. So your wholeness would be comprised of your physical... based on their class. So it would be your physical plus mental. I'm going to put pretty much, I'm going to put health here just for myself. I can explain a little bit better when I'm writing it. We can probably do a raw 15 instead of 5 for humans. Like, you have a little bit more. So at the absolute highest, you're going to have 29. At your lowest, you're going to have 15. So you're not going to have a huge amount of differences there. So Master's carries through C ranks in both physical and mental. What? Eh? C rank would have 5 plus 3, 8. It'd have 11 health. Yeah, okay. No, like, wait a second. Did I write that wrong? Oh, how do I find these? This is specifically from Fate Stay Night. This is when Ilya meets Berserker. This is I can see it. I want to say her name's Tomo, but I know it's not Tomo. God, it's Fate Hollow not Hollow Atrexia. It's the stupid Tamamo. The waifu servant from that game. Yeah, this is just the waifu servant from the weird spin-off, like, PSP game. That one was a weird one. Yeah, I was like, wait a second, yo. Now I put this down as 10 for some reason, even though up here it says 5. I need to just make sure that, Everything is good. Character supernatural, physical, or mental. Yeah, I forgot you have to select your supernaturals. Maybe Mark II. Do we want to keep the supernatural attribute? Yeah. I think keeping, like... Mark Divinity. That might be a thing. I might do that as well. Because the idea with this game is that I needed to... The thing with Fate Lonely Dance, like the problem child with this particular game, was the idea that you needed to make a sample human being character with the same mechanics as someone who is vastly stronger than them. And keep them relatively balanced. So what I did effectively was servants, the super powerful people, they get 2 supernatural attributes that allow them to do a lot of things. And they get a bunch of bonuses for those 2 attributes in particular. So I'm probably going to throw in something similar to that. Bravado, race, claim, and objective. Yeah, okay, so we go into this logic. These should remain relatively simple. And then we have magical energy. Magical energy isn't really that appropriate, but we can actually, you know what we can do? What we can do is we can call it I'm going to call it the golden core for right now, because that's pretty much the only way I can properly kind of enunciate it. You know, power plus bravado equals to that. The golden core is going to be equal to your flame FLM plus... Would it be your karma? Or would it be your radiance? I think it would be your radiance. Unless I do that, and just give people a shit ton if they focus on those. Or do we focus on one? I think do that, then we can do replenishment, which is going to be replenishment's going to be entirely flame plus radiance, but we can then make that flame plus karma. So the idea here would be your raw power, like your raw, just like the amount of flame, amount of pretty much gut you have to do your crazy magical abilities, overt divine miracles, is going to be based entirely on your manipulation of your inner flame and your belief that you have that power. Your replenishment, pretty much how fast you can rebuild it, is going to be based off your cultivation of it, as well as just how divine you actually are. How many people literally just believe in you, and how, arrogant you are about it. Do you actually believe? It is from Inner Alchemy stuff, but I'm already drawing a little bit from that. So these are temporary names. I pretty much just need to get ideas and names down right now, just get ideas. Because the idea of the golden core from Chinese Inner Alchemy is you cultivate the core, and then from there you are able to get your pretty much starting immortality. You can start increasing your power, exponentially. With the idea, my idea is that every character is going to have their pretty much inner flame, your divine flame, saying that you are divine. Your radiance is pretty much how much big D energy you have, big divine energy that you're allowed to radiate, as well as kind of like you can also interpret radiance just as like, yes, you have literal cults dedicated to you. When you walk into a room, you might have a follower who just goes to their knees and starts praying to you because they are in the presence of their god. That is how I want to do it. While your karma is your perception of what you deserve. Like, if you don't feel confident about yourself, your karma is going to show it. And that's the problem. How much unimportant people? Yeah, this is going to be... I'm not a magus. We don't... Yeah. See, we're not going to have to worry about things like this. So... This is where things are going to get a little bit more complicated. And what I'm going to have to... Okay, so... Because in, let's say... One of the other games I'm going to be using a little bit on this is Dominions 5. Because Dominions 5 is actually a very fascinating game. Because it's about gods. And it's about gods fighting each other for power. And... It's a really fascinating world. And a lot of fascinating ideas. Yeah. This game's big, by the way. This game is very big. Mortal Pretenders. Some Pretenders, Vampire, Quit Mortal. The two kinds of mortality in Dominions 5. Immobile, Dragon Pretenders. Research has shown Dragon Pretenders don't change into a dragon form until they are wounded. The Pretender will be displayed as a wizard until he changes shape, either by using change shape order. Okay, there we go. This is what I wanted. Because these are in Dominion. The big thing about it in Dominions 5 is the management of your Dominion. I am a god of the frozen north, and I believe that I am chosen to ascend to the heavens by claiming the thrones of ascension. Okay, what do? Well, everywhere where I hold faith, things, good things happen. I am a... Dominions is very fascinating. We're all the pure humans who don't want to do that. Those guys are the lucky ones. Because what I want this to be is this is going to be a cosmic scale when it comes to these things. And in God Killing Swords anyway, it's going to be cosmic scale. It's like there might be like one of you showing up to a planet. It's like, wow, this is a good, wow, it's fortunate. We literally are, our world will now become home to a death god battle. Fuck. But Dominions the Dominions lore is really fascinating because there's a lot of different stuff here, and I'll actually see if it's very light, so I can actually probably play it on stream. But Dominions is all about a bunch of different factions, different cultures, believing in them, believing up and whipping up themselves a god to help them and assert their dominion over the world, and eventually ascend. And you don't start very powerful, but you quickly get powerful. So, let's see. Let's see, Carrion Dragon from above example, because Dragon costs 50 points for physical form, 192 points on magic, 883 points for Dominion scale selection. So, these are your scales. What I'm going to probably do is the idea of Dominion. Pretty much your, divine legacy. The fact that you are a divine entity walking around doing things. What do you have on here? So we can do order versus turmoil. productivity versus sloth, heat versus cold, growth versus death, fortune versus misfortune, magic versus drain. Do you literally sap the life out of the world by you existing? Do you literally eat eat all the mystic bullshit in the surrounding area? And what we can do that, we can actually replace this section, because the idea behind the who you know section was about building relationships and giving you a better idea. Or we can just keep that section, like, that's gonna be one of those, like, maybe if but perhaps the other. I'll keep that in exterior. I'll keep that in exterior mechanics. We need to do Dominion scales. Pretty much your divine legacy. By you existing in a place, you're causing chaos. Or your exterior mechanics should also be the ties that bind, because I want it to feel important. Are there races, classes of god-killing swords? No. If you want to say, I am a divine entity, I'm not really going to give a shit what you are. Like, you've kind of ascended past that. And I want that to be kind of like a cosmic thing of, what do you look like? Well, I'm a regular looking dude, but I'm just built different. I claimed my godhood by, beating the shit out of a divine bull when I was a boy. Like, okay. Or you can be like, yeah, I have a giant pyramid head that with a singular eye that rotates to see how I feel occasionally, and my entire body is segmented into a dozen pieces. Okay, cool. Also, is there a focus on swords in this game? Yes. That is going to be the entire meta plot, is that either you have a fragment of a sword or you have a sword that gives you power and authority, and everyone has one. That is why you are powerful, is by virtue of you have this god-killing sword. Why everyone is also terrified of you. So, the ties that bind. Okay, now background skills and perks. These are not going to be a thing. Or more accurately, I'll probably... Do I need these? Maybe? Maybe not. Half of me feels like I need these. Because the idea behind these is... Usually, if you're going to go for something like that, is I might do the class system, like the vague class system, kind of like just your focus of like, what have you been doing? Like, what have you actually cultivated your strength to be? Are you a statesman, or are you a heroic warrior? Or are you like, what are you actually? I might do that because I already have the infrastructure in place for that. It's mostly a idea of how to do it. So, background skills and perks. Rank up any attribute, bump up any attribute. Rank up increases it by 1 rank. Bump up increases it by 1 step. So A to A plus, rank A to B, A to B, C plus to B plus, yeah. I think this could work. Yeah, I think we can keep this system raw. The odd one would be... This one's going to be one that's going to need changing. So I'm going to key backgrounds and skills, but do something about perks. I don't know how I want to do that. What is a perk? I don't know yet. Because the idea behind perks are the fact that you have the ability to do something. The idea of the perk is that you have the ability to do something, which is important. Because the fact that you have the ability to use presence concealment is important. Because that's an incredibly valuable tool. The fact that you have the madness enhancement is important. Maybe don't call them perks, call them miracles. Yeah, miracles are going to be their own thing, though. That's going to be another thing, and thank you for reminding me of that, because we're going to need to put in... Effectively, I've been thinking of calling them words, kind of stealing Godbound's idea a little bit. But the idea of a word is very simple. I have the word fire. Guess what I have complete dominion over, as long as I'm not being opposed by it? Fire. Do whatever you feel like doing with that. Or hey, I have literally a god word of, like flowers. I have the divine entity of the word flower somewhere in my repertoire. Probably keep them nouns, but that actually wouldn't be a terrible idea to put here. So do something about perks. Yeah, commandments could work. Pretty much the idea is I need to put in a few systems to make sure that instead of having like strict, you are fighter man, you are this, it's I am a individual who has learned the power, learned the word, fist over, my lifetime, and I've mastered the art of using my fist to do things. You have complete dominion over that. What do you choose to do with the power of fisting? Damn straight phrasing. Okay, so here are the heroic spirit classes. Do I want to keep the classes? Do I want to keep classes? I think I'm going to keep the classes. I think we're going to keep the classes. But we contextualize them. Or we contextualize them a bit to be a bit more personal. Personal, which is going to be the idea of you're going to be able to take a free... Pretty much you're going to get your own free attribute changes, but it's going to be 1 plus 1 down. Pretty much you have to equal out what you're going to be getting a bonus and what you're going to get a penalty in. And you're going to get raw, let's say, I think it's 20, it'd be 20 wholeness / core spread evenly. So you could say, let's say for example, the beast hunter, my attribute changes. I have a plus physical, but minus my mental. I'm actually really fucking stupid. And I get a plus 15 to my health, to a 15 to my wholeness. But I get but I also get a plus 5 to my core. There we go. That is what a class may look like. Just give them a lot more of these. Give them a little bit more definition to them. Because some of these actually have some more clarification behind it. Creating your own perks, not fair, neither is your may seem overpowered at first. Territory creation. Applications is going to be one. That's just going to be a thing I need to put in there. Change the names, maybe Ancient One, Avatar, Smiter. Nah, no, these are going to be yours. You're going to make this because one thing about it is that your character is going to be so unique. Your character is a singular entity that has risen to the point of being powerful. When you walk into a room of your peers, everyone kind of knows who you are immediately. And every single one of them is probably scared of you in a different way. Oh god, it's the Beast Hunter. He literally goes to different worlds. He kills the biggest, scariest monster available. People idolize him, and then he leaves. Every single world he visits, there's a goddamn shrine somewhere in it. I've created horrifying abominations to test on these people, and he's killed them. God damn it. But you're also a stupid moron. You're a moron. Like, you're just not a very smart person. However, you don't need to be smart. Where you're going, because you're the Beast Hunter. You rep. So, yeah. That does remind me, we're going to have to put in more applications. So we're going to have like I'm going to call it a pseudo class system because it's not really going to be a class system. It's going to be more like if anything, we can call it your divine legacy, which is going to be this. Keep the classes where you contextualize them. These are just going to be sample ones, effectively. Okay, Magecraft. We really don't need to worry about Magecraft. Because this is all about spells, problems, burdens, and baggage. That's pretty easy to understand. Then we have to go to conflict. Okay. Dial a deity. Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be dial a deity, effectively. This is going to be about who you are, winning and losing a conflict. Yeah. Conflict system in this game is weird. What they need to be, kind of. Okay. So if we use the Zwahong elements, we got our meta plots, pseudo class system. We're going to need a lot of these. Like, these are what's going to make the character really sing. It's going to be these elements. And that's what... Because at the end of the day, that is what this game is going to be about. It's not going to be really about all like the, oh wow, he's flying around because he's a super cool god monster. Not the point. That is not the point of this game. The point is that you are effectively in a power drama. You have infinite power. What do you do with that infinite power, you goddamn monster? And the answer is probably do a lot of bad things. So what are we going to need now? What do we... "777, hello, God, it's me, SPRUG. It's me, the single-purpose role-playing unitary game. Ow. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. So what else do we really need in a game like this? So we have our basic conflicts. We have our basic ideas here. Escalations. Well, phantasms aren't supposed to be burdened. Because the main idea about Fate is playing the Holy Grail War. Well, first off, we're going to have basic fighting. Like, obviously, fighting, conflict mechanics are going to be important. But we'll maybe have to put in something like, Huh? Oh, wait a second. Yeah, fun fact. In case you didn't know, if you ever get curious and ever want to do something, what you can do is if you hold down the Alt key and hit on a number pad, 0149, you create a bullet point. 9 is also my mute button. So I accidentally did that. I've been talking this entire time. But yeah, fun fact. Welcome to Unix coding. So the idea behind this is like a basic fight. I want to put in some devastation mechanics. I think that's going to be important. Flame eating is also going to be important. Flame eating is just the idea of I am, we're in a fight. Oh no, okay, I've beaten you. You're down and out. I have the option of just killing you. Of like, I'm going to end you right now. You fought well, you die well. Alternatively, you can do the fucked up thing and pretty much Kali Ma and rip out their divine spark and start eating that shit to get more power. That's pretty much how you're going to be stealing other people's words. And you're going to be very tempted to do it, because that's going to, like, this is going to be the prisoner dilemma right here. Like, that's the prisoner dilemma. It's, you can do, you have the option of can and can't. Actually, do or do not. Do you commit effectively a super sin, like a grand cosmic terrible thing? Or do you not? Do you do the moral thing? The moral thing gets you no benefit. You will receive no benefit, you just take out a rival. The immoral thing gives you a benefit, but you're immoral. So it's a prisoner's dilemma. Do you not commit the crime in exchange for not committing it? It's kind of an odd situation. It's just like you may feel tempted to, like, oh, my enemy has been fucking devouring his enemy's cores. So maybe I want to do something. Maybe I want to devour it as well. Maybe I want to start committing these atrocities in the name of my own, victory. Being like, well, he's doing it, I have to do it now too. So it kind of becomes that odd, like, do you really want to start this? Warfare is going to be important. Now, what do I mean by warfare? All right, team of my 4 friends. We're divine entities. We could probably storm this castle pretty easily, but it's going to take us a lot of time because he is an entire world that is made into a fortress. And if we try to assault it, we're going to get bogged down. He's going to throw every single entity he has at us. We're not going to get hurt or die, really, but we're going to get slowed down. He's going to be able to actually, like, assist and kick some ass. And we want to drag him out. So we're going to invade this world by teleporting our army into it and trying to commit a galactic war crime. That's the idea of warfare, is like you are invading with a cosmic army. Not necessarily laser guns and, battleships, more along the lines of we're teleporting in our forces in a desperate attempt to win the day. Because we just don't want to get slowed down. So domain management, replenishment, because we can actually kind of do the idea of faith equal power. What would be some other important aspects of a game of this caliber? All the sample masters, keeping time. I always thought that was important. All my assorted notes. Oh yeah, we have some of the odder ones. Pope Francis. What do you... Oh, no, that's Charlemagne. No, I think you're looking at Charlemagne. You know, a ruler class servant in CCC, in Crisis Core Connect, or whatever the fuck it was called. Yeah, no, that's Charlemagne. We don't talk about Charlemagne. There's the Bellevue family, because I like the Bellevues, and I always try to put them in everything. Let's see. I don't think people understand how big of a franchise Fate actually is. Fate's a massive franchise, like way too big for its own good. Also, there is someone sleeping with a minor in this picture. However, the answer is it's not the girl. She is actually older than him for a reason. Remember that, kids. Oh, are you looking at Oh yeah, you're looking at anime. That's not Pope Francis. That is Pope. What's the Pope manga? It is Pope Francis. Yeah. Fun fact: there was also quite a few Pope mangas out there. Yeah, Pope Francis, I Believe in Mercy by Regina Domain, art by Sean Lum. Yeah, I don't know why I found this. I just found it and I thought it was interesting. Because there's actually a few about Pope Francis for some reason. It's just one of those weird quirks. Also, we have a Pope, the Japanese Pope. I think we all learned a little bit about ourselves today. Yeah, that's Pope Francis. But yeah, no, a lot of these are most of the servants are a little bit weird because that's a Stolfo right there. You know, from A Knight's Tale. I'm trying to think of other important aspects that we need to include in a game like this because we have. Okay, so let's think about it for a second. It's a trap. It is a trap. Astolfo is technically a trap. Though he never says that he is. He never says that he is not. That's the thing about him. He never says that he is not a man. And people tend to get that wrong about him in the fandom. He never says that he is in fact not a man, and he always says that he is a man. But people tend to get that wrong because he dresses up as a woman, but that's literally based off like a single line in his myth of why he's like that. But like, what do we need? What do we need in a game like this? We have domain management. That's important for warfare stuff. Okay, we got domain management, warfare. We have bigger conflicts. We have to kind of expand the conflict system out. That's going to be an important thing just to worry about. That should be relatively simple to handle. What else do we need? We need maybe add an expanded relationship system. That wouldn't be completely ramiss. Yeah, no, that's not the worst one. No, Astolfo at least makes sense of why he is the way that he is. It's literally because he's a comely. I believe the line is like he's a comely young man that he could easily be mistaken for a woman. There's Attila the Hun is an alien woman. Don't forget that. Like just remember that. Attila the Hun is in fact an alien woman named Adlita. I believe her name is Aleta. Alita, yes. Good stuff though. So let's see. We've got conflicts. Bang bang, boosh bosh. We're fighting. Big explosion. Death war. What else do we need? Not much. Not much. This might be a proving factor. Can actually Notepad Diceless change and function by itself? If you look hard enough, someone's probably done it. Don't worry. They've probably done it. What else are we thinking? Maybe put in some weird more some tech stuff. kind of mimic that, going on the line of like mimicking the kill 6 billion demons thing. Actually, let's think about that for a second. Kill 6 billion demon, what's important, what's not important? Well, what's important in kill 6 billion demons is domain, powers, all that, but that's all going to be covered in the character abilities. This is going to be a big drama game. Feel like I'm missing something. I know I'm missing something. The martial arts, technically. Actually, you know what? I could add in some. I could add some stuff in like that. Not much, but pretty much that might actually be under application as well. Because you might be like, if I'm thinking of everything correctly, what it would be like application Kirata. And it would be saying, okay, I want to spend my power to do something. I want to spend my inner flame, and it's like Kirata the third, the first form, and touch someone on the forehead and have their head explode. That's the idea. Yeah, but I want it to be able to allow you to open things up. You could have someone who's, a grandmaster martial artist person whose entire thing is, having these extravagantly long names behind every attack, but that's just who he is. However, you can also have someone like the Beast Hunter walk in there, wearing the pelt of a, ancient being that he slew 3 centuries ago, being like, "Hey, what's your super? Oh no, what are you going to do?" Being like, "I'm going to kill you. How are you going to do that? I am going to run up to you and have him like run up to you, grab your head, and tear it off." Like, actually, that would be the idea behind an execution. Actually, I think the proper term is trail of destruction. So that concept would be more along the lines of, you wouldn't necessarily be, yeah, no, it would be the trail of destruction system would be you fighting like hordes of other guys, like random bandit approaches you, give me your money or die. You flick him on the forehead, his head explodes. You doesn't matter. Like, it's fundamentally it's fundamentally like not an issue to you anyway. Like a regular person. There's an army between me and my target. You're going to have to use the trail of destruction system. The trail of destruction system is quite literally, you're going to compare your ability to their abilities. And how good you are at doing it is how fast you're going to be able to cleave through them. It's you going to be making these strides through them as a dozen of them attack you at once. Like, we've been stabbed a dozen times. Like, I don't really care. Like, I'm so far above you. I am cutting through you guys like a knife through butter. And that's the entire point. It's like, you can fight an army. It's just going to take time and it's going to wear you down. To a degree. Yeah, it's going to be the idea. Like, I have a system in place for it. It's in the Fate Lonely Dance. The idea is called challenges, which you set a TN and then you compare all of the stats being used for just how long it takes you to do it. It's not necessarily a thing of how long, like, oh, this is going to take, you succeed or fail. It's, you're going to succeed, but if you have a shit stat, it's going to take you forever to do. So it's like, okay, this isn't worth it. And in that game, in Fate Lonely Dance, timekeeping is important. Timekeeping is exceedingly important. So this game would be kind of the same idea, but I need to do something other than timekeeping, because timekeeping isn't really going to be a big deal. You appear, some stuff starts happening, it's time to duel. And it's kind of building that idea up while let me think. Like, Universal War was all about participating in the Universal War. It was people fighting, it was people making deals, making alliances, and eventually breaking those alliances to shatter someone's face off. And since everyone's also going to have their sword is going to be pretty much an aspect of their divine being. It's going to be something important about them that signifies who they are. Our Beast Hunter example character, his sword will be, this gigantic, meat cleaver. Effectively, he uses the, slice through just about anything. What does the sword do? I can slice through any beast. Any living creature I can slice through. Yeah, so you're gonna have to do that method. What else would we need? What else? Come on. Come on, Notepad. You know what you want. You know how to do this. This game may be a proof of concept for the Notepad diceless system. If we use it for that concept, I think it could work pretty well. I'm going to need to expand the meta plot out a little bit, just the idea of that. Maybe put in like a... They already have a meta currency, kind of. Yeah, it's things like that. That's the idea. That's what I want you to feel like. You're fluffing it as what you want it to be, and have them kind of be more than who they are. You are important because you are important. Your power is derived because you believe that it's important. Diceless. Oh god, is this Noblies? No, not Noblies. Not as bad as Noblies. No, this is based off of Amber, the Diceless RPG, which is pretty much all about cosmic superpowered people. Because the entire thing is, all conflicts are going to be pretty much you going back and forth with someone, trying to reason out what's the best way of actually approaching them. Okay, I've got Warfare A, you've got Warfare B. It's going to take me some time to actually kill you, but I will kill you. Because I am just that much microscopically better than you. Ever so microscopically better than you. However, if you have a quirk, you have something to give you a leg up, well, suddenly my advantage is now null. It's like, well, crap. I don't have that advantage anymore. I need to find a different approach. Okay, new approach. We're going to have a mental fight. It's literally just going to be me and you circling one another, fucking with one another. Until one of us can land the decisive strike kind of thing. That's kind of the idea of how the conflicts goes. It's you escalating it, and it's you betting more and more and more on these outcomes. Until it comes down to this final moment where, again, it's the idea of the trail of destruction and all those weird tech, all that martial arts, everything like that is helping you in those conflicts. And giving you the narrative power to do as such. Is there anything else, really? No, I don't think there is. There's a lot here, but not actually that much to worry about. It's going to be a lot of narration, I believe. A lot of concept, because that's one of the issues with anything you're going this large with. Is if you go this large, this scale, suddenly the scales start getting weird. It's Fate Lonely Dance. Half of this game is all about character creation, because that's the point. Once characters are done, the game is pretty simple. Yeah. Unless we want to do some cultivation bullshit going on, but that's going to be kind of... Yeah, okay. I think that's all we can really do with this game. Because overall, this game is going to be mostly built around the concept of players doing things to increase their own power and increase their own abilities to get a small leg up on others. You're not really going to have this major advancement. Actually, do I even have an advancement system? I don't, not really. All this is just sample stuff. Encounter. No, I don't even have a leveling up system for this game because I didn't need it because it's a fucking Fate game. What are you going to be getting? You're going to be getting more abilities to get small legs up. Going through power pages like browsing a candy shop. I get you. There's some games which are like 95% character creation. Like, once character creation is done, you're pretty good. Like, you don't really need to worry too much about much else mechanically, because you explain everything in there. Like, Fate Lonely Dance, this game is 65 pages long, and the game effectively ends at 33. Like, the game, there isn't actually that much. There are about 6 pages of actual, like, rules for doing things, like fighting and stuff, because, like, you don't need to do it. Like, that's the thing. You don't need to actually worry too much about it because everything is already explained in the character creation system. So it's like, why bother? Like, you... But that's the entire point of this. Is an incredibly focused game. And this one's going to be a little bit different because it's going to be based on this. Like, these are going to be our... Actually, what do I want to prove? What do I want to prove? Let's go on a magic adventure, everybody. Come with me, and you'll see in a world of your imagination. Let's see, we want to go here, we want to go to fantasy, we want to do... Where's my Amber book? Ah. Now, this is like the OG game when it comes to dice, like cool diceless games. This is Amber. Amber is insane, and this is also very old. Where pattern lets you walk to any world you can imagine, where Lorga's tangles can reach across infinite dimensions, where your shape-shifting lets characters without wings. Time-consuming system cuts character development above all else. Tips to role-playing styles with dozens of crystal clear advantage. So, what do you... tell me, Amber, what do you have? Pattern, imprint, mastery, trump artistry, shape-shifting, sorcery, power words. Yeah, again, this is the same thing. This game is 258 pages long, and the game effectively ends at page 80. Because all the rest of this is game master stuff and like how the world works, how this works. So I think what this is gonna be a big thing is it's going to be me having to effectively enunciate it. This barely has any crunch to it. Like, this really has barely any. This is all how to actually do this. This was kind of the first of its kind. Like, very much so. Like, there wasn't really much else. Actually, the free stuff might be a... much more than locate a perfect world. Found... This was based off a book series, which I've always wanted to read it because it always seemed really weird to me. More players. The pool their points construct a joint shadow. Shadows created in this way are created participant. Allies and Amber. Family, friends. Down to young Merlin. Quartz of Chaos. Regard your characters as a friend. Friend is likely. Quartz Chaos. Chaos Quartz devotee. They're unlikely to be able to help a character quite as much because of their lesser influence and power in places of pattern. Outstanding asset should the character ever visit the Quartz of Chaos. This is a devotee from Amber. This gives a character a heritage of Largus. Therefore, a character with will be able to, whether points are available and their missed opportunity comes up, become a master of the Largus. Amber Court devotees, naming friends, and so then the stuff quality. This is the beautiful thing. This is the stuff. They buy their own luck. Use stuff to determine the character's luck karma. Stuff works in 3 ways. Good stuff. Alright. Tend to have good luck. Take risks. Good stuff. Why some players love good stuff. Bad stuff attitude. Bad stuff warning. It just doesn't matter that 10 minutes ago your character just had 3 outrageously bad breaks because bad stuff doesn't get used up. I can actually, I can use some of this ideas. Character stuff, variety factor, here ranges from good stuff to lots of bad stuff. 5 options, a lot of good stuff. You strike him with your short punch right in the gut or toss him over the edge. What do? You land on the ledge. Doing before you hit. Oh, like, ah. So, yeah, this is going to be... I think I can implement stuff into this game a little bit. Again, I adore Amber. Let me just preface this. I adore Amber as a game. Because it's really unique. And incredibly fascinating. And I would love to see a new edition of it. But it'll never come. Because Amber is so weird. Like, people kept recommending me... Oh. That didn't sound good. My co-host may be reaching the end of its life soon. But I love Amber because it's actually an incredibly unique game. Like, Noblesse never really clicked with me, even though I know people who are like, Noblesse is the best thing ever created since the dawn of man. So I think that should do God-killing swords pretty well. Because the advantage of this right now is that I can kind of define some aspects here, and then I can use whatever, like, metaplot and bullshit stuff here, and whoop, and use it for 100 Lotus Blades up here. So, and the goal would be transfer your HLB characters to God-killing swords. Hey, my cool, Wuxia hero got a fragment of, got a sword, and he's kind of become godly. You're now a god-killing sword character. So, yeah, and then Hell Jumpers is going to be its own disaster area. So, okay, I think I know how I want to do this now. It's going to be a little bit of time. Going to be a little bit of time, but I think I can do it. All right. Go notepad. Yeah. I joke frequently because sometimes you can hear it. My chair squeaks, and if you watch my videos, you can still occasionally hear my chair squeaking. I've had this chair for like 3 years, and I found it by the garbage. Like, this chair sucks, but it's a good fucking chair. I love this chair. It's my chair. It's my boo-boo. I've been through thick and thin with him. hence why I refer to him as my co-host. So, what else are we really needing to do? Nothing much. I think we're pretty much good for today. We can begin kind of work more officially on Friday. But that does bring me a thing about this weekend. So, originally, my plan for this weekend was I was going to review a few games. And I have. But I also realized that this one and these three games are all by the same company and effectively the same game. So there's going to be a few games going on which are going to be a little bit weird, and they're like, my original intent was like, oh, I'm going to have like a weird Asian themed one. No, these three games are the same. Tokyo Brain Pop is the best designed, however, oh yeah, no, we get to go over a lot of these, and I'm not looking forward to it. I want you all to remember that I am not looking forward to this, and I'm not looking forward to these games for one reason, and it's because I'm going to have to look at the artwork again. And the artwork breaks me emotionally. There we go. I'll end the stream off right there. There's a reason for it, mind you. There's a reason why the name is called Panty Explosion. Is it a good reason? Absolutely not. But there is in fact a reason for it. I'm going to go over it this weekend. But what I'm most likely going to be doing is I'm going to be doing these three. Panty Explosion, Classroom Deathmatch, and Tokyo Brain Pop. Nope, those are Japanese high schoolers. We're going to be doing Overarms, which I have opinions on Overarms. I wanna like Overarms, but Overarms doesn't want to like me. We're also going to be doing this really simple itch game because I thought it looked kind of neat, and it's like, cool, like this is fine. And Bancho Meow Meow, which is done by this guy. This game is like 9 pages and $4. I'm like, no, this is gonna be fun to go over. But we also have like, there's a lot of little games, and so I've been debating on like what people want to like, what people are like wanting to add to the list. I have a few ideas, but this weekend's going to be a kind of a mishmash of just random things. So feel free to tune in. It's going to be painful. Listed 50 cents a page. Correct. And you can also get it like it's not the thing is it's not really it's 50 cents a page for like 48 point font on those pages and the front artwork and like 2 other pieces of artwork. It's not actually that much, and the value is not worth what it is. So I'm gonna head out now. Thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad. I will catch you all maybe tomorrow, actually. There is a good chance I'm going to stream tomorrow, and that is going to be a Notepad Talks About Things, because I feel like talking about things. And what that thing will be, I don't know yet. Mostly I just want to show off a game I found, because I want to be insulted on the internet for being bad at it. So, thank you all, and I will catch you on the flip side. Away!